Hello and welcome. We hope you and your families are safe and well during these challenging times. Toureen Group have developed this information video to communicate what measures we have put in place to protect you and others on site. COVID-19 has significantly disrupted the day-to-day life of everyone. Strict restrictions have been imposed on us to limit our daily movements, and these will most likely be in place for many weeks or months to come. Site-specific operating procedures have been put in place by the Construction Leadership Council and Build UK to introduce consistent measures on sites in line with the government's recommendations on social distancing. Toureen have introduced changes in the way we carry out our activities to protect you and also prevent the spread of infection. These guidelines cover 9 key areas: communication, personal hygiene, travel to and from site, welfare, working on site, logistics, meetings and briefings, behaviour and PPE. Communication. The government states that you must stay at home and isolate if you are a vulnerable person, 70 years or older, have one of the underlying health conditions or a clinical condition as defined on gov.uk, are pregnant, are living with someone in self-isolation, or living with a vulnerable person. If you have a high temperature or you have a new and persistent cough. Screening will be carried out where possible at site entrances and briefings to identify symptoms and prevent risks to others on site. But do not go to site if you have symptoms. If you fall into one of the categories or fall ill on site, return home immediately, notifying your line manager before doing so. Avoid touching anything and cough or sneeze into a tissue and put it in the bin or into the crook of your elbow. As a business, we've put these measures in place to protect you and to ensure that the site is safe and right for your return. During these times, we know some workers will feel uncomfortable or anxious about coming to work, which we also understand. If you do not feel comfortable coming to work during this period, please make us aware and we will support your decision to stay at home and welcome you back when the time is right. Please ensure that you communicate with us regularly, and if you have any concerns at all, do not hesitate in letting us know. We will also make sure that we communicate with you on any updates to the way we work. Toureen will support you. During this time, we've amended our Safe Start briefings to cater for COVID-19. Every day, we will be questioning workers on how they feel so that we can identify symptoms quickly. We're asking at this time that everyone is fully transparent and honest if they're experiencing any COVID-19 symptoms. We've also created a COVID-19 workers pack that all workers must complete. Personal hygiene. You must ensure that high hygiene standards are maintained by all workers on site. This will be a collective measure to ensure that we contain the spread of the virus. Hand washing must be carried out for at least 20 seconds each time. Hand washing must be done regularly throughout the working day, including when entering and leaving site, before and after signing in or out, before and after using welfare facilities, and before and after using shared plant, tools or equipment. Travel to and from site. Wherever possible, you should travel to and from site alone, using your own transport, such as personal cars or bikes, and avoiding public transport. Parking arrangements for additional cars or bicycles will be made available where possible. Please speak to your site manager for more information. On completion of this induction, Toureen Group personnel will be issued with a COVID-19 induction passport by the HR department. Please keep a copy of this with you at all times whilst travelling. Welfare. There are hand cleaning facilities at entrances and exits of all sites. Make sure that you use them on entering and leaving. Enhanced cleaning regimes are in place. Please ensure that you treat them with respect. Shift and break times will be staggered to reduce congestion where required. Make sure that you know your allocated times for changing and taking your breaks. Additional space will also be provided where necessary. Bring pre-prepared meals and refillable drinking bottles from home as a priority. Sit 2 meters apart from each other whilst eating and avoid all contact with others. All rubbish to be put in the bin and not left for someone else to clean up. Working on site. Our priority is to ensure that works are carried out with at least 2 meters of space between workers. Plan work to minimize contact between workers and avoid skin-to-skin or face-to-face contact. Where face-to-face contact is essential, this must be kept to 15 minutes or less, and wherever possible, additional PPE or RPE will be required. Site management will brief you on the amended task-specific method statement and risk assessments that will reference what PPE or RPE is required. If you're sharing plant with cabs, such as excavators, ensure they're being cleaned before being used by someone else. Logistics. Whilst moving around site, allow plenty of space, at least 2 meters. This includes queuing points such as entrances and exits. Use the one-way systems that have been put in place, or use passing points. Avoid stopping and chatting to others on walkways. Stairs should be used in preference to lifts or hoists. Delivery drivers are expected to remain in their vehicles if the load will allow it, and must wash or clean their hands before unloading goods or materials. Meetings and briefings. Meetings should only be held and attended if absolutely necessary. During meetings, attendees should remain 2 meters apart and should consider holding meetings in open areas if possible. If they must be indoors, keep it well ventilated with windows open so that fresh air is circulating. Where possible, video conferencing should be considered. Behaviour. During this challenging time, our behaviours are key to preventing the spread of COVID-19. We all need to lead by example and encourage each other to follow these guidelines. It's everyone's responsibility to speak up if they feel social distancing measures are not being adhered to on site. Everyone has different circumstances. Respect this and be mindful of everyone's personal space. PPE. It's our responsibility to ensure that you have the correct PPE for the tasks you are carrying out on site. You will be issued with the PPE and RPE that's required for you to safely carry out your task. Reusable PPE should be thoroughly cleaned after use and not shared between workers. The issue of PPE will be monitored to ensure that sites are respecting this. The stock of PPE will be centralised and issued where necessary so that all sites get what they need. We rely on PPE for us to continue working safely. If we do not follow these simple measures, we may be unable to continue our works on site. The only way for our sites to function is with your full cooperation. Please remember, do not come to site if you have any symptoms. Respect your welfare. Respect your PPE. And most of all, respect each other. Think safe, work safe, home safe.